Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. I wanted to talk to you about what it's like when the chosen curse breaker takes their power back, when they leave the narcissist and refuse them for the last time. What it's like and what it's like for, say, the new supply and the people around them. So let's jump in. When you've been with a narcissist and you have been their supply source that meets their needs, you are the one with the highest fuel level, the one that they're with the most, okay? The one that they're with the most is the one that's their primary source. You probably poured into them. And then you wonder when they leave you, why you feel so empty inside. Why you feel soulless yourself, you feel hollow, you feel like you need to get to know yourself again. And you don't even know how to do that. You don't even know how to do that because you feel so horrible about how the situation was left and how beat up you are. The reason is because you've been pouring your heart out for months and years with this individual. This is what it's like when you get negative reciprocity day after day after day. And when you continue to allow that door to be opened, if it's left up to the narcissist, they're going to suck everything they can when that door is open. They're going to open up as much as they can. They're insatiable. If you are that type of empath, then what's going to happen is you're going to give until you are almost on the ground. And that's typically what you find on at least my channel. Hit so hard that they just feel like they have nothing left to them. There's a good thing and a bad thing to that. The good thing is it gets better. The bad thing is you allowed yourself to almost get to a place to where you're just a hollow shell of a person. They left you and you allowed this to occur. But the reason why you allow this to occur is because it was your boundaries, but under this spell, it will lead you all the way down to the ground. That's what makes you different. What makes you different and what makes you that primary source of supply that is very special, I would say 99% of the time, that type of source of supply had it going on in a way to where there's a lot of people out there that leave the house every day and they don't really work on themselves as far as trying every day. There's a lot of people out there that don't try every day. They're not motivated to try. And they're not really concerned about their character. They're not really concerned about what they look like. They're not really motivated and have goals. But you did. And you also had these childhood injuries that you were able to cover up for most people. You were able to camouflage them. You were able to build walls around them. You were able to distract yourself for a long time with outside things so that you didn't have to deal with these type of wounds or injuries. But the narcissist comes into your life to put you down. And just like the narcissist has a way of doing things to manipulate and to control, God allows this to happen in your destiny, in your destiny's place, for you to wake up. He didn't send the narcissist, but if he didn't allow this to occur, if he didn't stop it, a lot of people would say if God would have stopped the narcissist, it would have just would have been so much better. But maybe it wouldn't have been. The narcissist a lot of times is like the catalyst to wake you up in many ways. It's like when you go through a hardship or many hardships in a row, bereavement overload, they call it, hospitalization. You can get to a place to where you're so burdened down with what you're going through that your whole world is crushing down on you. It's collapsing. And you can have a way of life that you were living and then only to turn around and see that it's kind of collapsed around you. Then probably the narcissist came into your life. When you don't deal with things that need to be dealt with, or you push them off to the side or push them under the carpet, these are the kinds of things that will come around the way and they will break you down to the ground. And some would say that it is a curse. But depending on how you look at it, it could be a great blessing. Because if you handle the situation correctly and you go through the process, just as the narcissist has many manipulative ways to take down that chosen source empath, God allows it to happen so that you have enough trauma and enough pain and enough hurt for it to wake you up and make you feel alive again. To get you to a place to where you can't do anything but stop and start over. And start over. Start over in ways to where you have to go down new roads, new paths. You have to man up and you have to get out there. And you have to do new things, whether you like it or not. You're going to have to do new things, whether you like it or not. Why? Because you're kind of forced to. And you also go through situations to where you get to a place to where you don't care anymore. And a lot of times for most people, that's not a good thing. But for the empath, that's a very good thing. Because when you get to a place to where you don't care what anybody thinks, and you get to a place to where I'm relentless in my pursuit to have my personal freedom, and you realize how many people have been sucking off you, controlling you, and squandering all of your goods, all of your fruits, all of your blessings, and you have been consenting to it, and you start to wake up to all of this. The narcissist was the spark that lit a flame in you, a new flame that is stoking on its own, because you are going to go through those tough things. Why? Because you feel so bad. When you feel bad enough, you will do tough things that you wouldn't do before because you felt too comfortable. You'll get relentless in your health, in your relationship with the Lord, in working on your character, in addressing things that you were all too comfortable to address before. But they were your Achilles heel. You might have had mediocre blessings. You might have had mediocre joy and mediocre things come at you, come back to you. But now you have the opportunity to have passion. So the narcissist lives a life. They feel in their grandiosity they are better than everybody. They want and have some desires that you have, but the way they go about getting them is utter trash, y'all. And what they hate about you is when you go out there and you grew up in these same families with the same trauma, with the same type of parents, with the same people all around you checked out and abusing you and using you. And you're able to stand up in your vulnerability, in your humility, and in a whole different energy altogether. And to take back what they lost their soul for, and they still never got it. They went the cheap way out. They believed a lie. They manipulated and destroyed everybody in their past and all around them. They don't know who they are anymore. And they're chasing nothing but lustful addictions to try to squander it from other people. While instead of having their innate self and good fruits, they have to run around looking to destroy people to receive adrenaline and to maneuver between all of these lies with individuals, worrying about the payback. And they hate you for it. Why? Because you're unequally yoked. That's why. It's like similar opposites on two sides of the spectrum. That's why Christ would call them the goats to the left and the sheep to the right. Totally different. Or the wolves and the sheep. Totally different. When you decide to leave the narcissist for good, when you decide that you've had enough, when you decide to put them down, to lay down what you've been dealing with, and you get to this place in your mind and your heart, and they come together and equalize and put your spirit man in control of this and say, look, no matter what my emotions tell me, no matter what my lusts or desires are, no matter what my mind thinks, I know that I have to break this thing. I know that I have to go against everything that my body is telling me, but my spirit and my intuition and my inside voice is opposed to. And that's the thing with your spirit man. It's not controlled by the flesh. So to operate in the spirit man is much harder because it doesn't have a pull with it. It gives you complete autonomy. And it doesn't try to pull you in. And that's how salvation is. It doesn't try to pull you in. You have to be hungry for it. You have to know in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit, in your gut, y'all, that this is where I need to be. That this is my rightful place. And no matter what my body tells me, my mind tells me, my flesh, my desires tell me, my emotions tell me, I know that they're lying to me. And I know deep down, I know the truth. And the truth hurts. And the truth don't pull at you like lust does. Come on, let's do it. It'll feel good. It'll be great. It'll be fun. You know, and then those things aren't really, or they are for a short time. But a lot of times, delayed gratification is the best thing because it will grow you in your stature. And it will grow in your self-control. It will ground you, and it will give you a firm footing. It will make you unwavering when times get hard. And this is how God comes into your life and roots you down. And when you leave the narcissist and you put them down for good, they are used to this power and control. They are in their ego self, which is their false self. It is their complete fleshly self. They are driven by nothing but lust. They are controlled by demonic entities that rule and reign all throughout them. They control them on a secondary level, on a covert, hidden level, through a psychology aspect of things. But when you read between the lines, you will see that this is a spiritual orchestration with a secondary commitment to control and to destroy them, and to control and to destroy you through another narrative. And when you leave the narcissist and you block them, you shut them down, and when you've been soft with them and you start to stand up and you kick that dust off and you start to focus back into your life, a lot of times we've been taught is a bad way of thinking. To love yourself is a bad thing. And it's not. It's not a bad thing. In the right perspective, it's not a bad thing at all. Not at all. And when you do that, the narcissist is forced to go to another supply. You force them to go to another supply. You know, they had control over you, and now you are causing them to make moves that they don't want to make. And when you do that, because of just your refusal, because we are not controlling individuals, but it causes them to have to go to another form of supply because they can't be with you. It causes them to have to get breadcrumbed by those individuals because they can't have you. And you are their best source. And it puts them down because they did a lot of things behind your back where they mocked you with their cohorts, their friends, their flying monkeys, their family, whatever, especially through the smearing, but whatever, all throughout. They laughed about you. They talked about how they used you, cheated on you with their friends, how they could do anything and get you back. Well, it's been a long time coming, y'all. But some of us put our foot down and we grab the reins to our own heart. And we bring the things that have been out of control in our life into captivity. And we bring self-control to those areas. And we start to focus on ourselves. And we change, we level up. Two things that change you, man, is heavy, heavy pain and God. And when you go through one of these with the narcissist and you have allowed them to take everything, only to be betrayed, pushed down, sucked from, and mocked. And then God lifts you up. And he, over a period of time, levels you up several times over. He builds you back up. You have new strength in your bones. You have new authority. You have new vision. You have a new clarity to what you are doing, and you have purpose, y'all. You know who is bad and who's not. You can look around and you know how to read people almost like the narcissist does now, from the opposite end of the spectrum. And when they can't get you back, it sends a ripple effect through their whole life. Everything that they touch, everything that they do, everything that they say is going to be all about you, and either how they miss you or how they hate you for what you did or what you've done to them just by you shutting them down and turning them off. Their reaping is going to be you being free rent in their head all the time, 24/7. Because they have to have power and control. They run in ego, y'all. Nothing but ego. Which is to say that they have to get what they want when they want it, damn it. And they have gotten it. Because that deal they made with the devil, that deal they made with those entities that gave them the power, the control, the seduction that they have, it works on 99% of those people. 99.9. But like I said the other day, what really destroys a narcissist and flips the script on them is when you wake up while you're with them. And when you do, and you leave them, that's probably going to be the most destructive narcissist in your life. And God also had it for them to get that, because they are well deserved of getting a bad harvest. And now they got to carry that around. And there's nothing worse than a narcissist that's always gotten everything, and that seduction has worked with everybody from their childhood all the way up, to be turned down, told no, shut down, shut off, given nothing. Not an ounce, not a drop, not a word from you. And you go out there and you shake it up, y'all. You have a new energy. There's different ways of looking at this. You can look at this as some sort of a failure. You're always going to be depressed and deprived, and you can think about the past. And you can live like that and walk in anxiety because you can't do what's in your future, and you can't gain control over your own life. Or you could stand up and be victorious, and you can shift your thinking and look at it from a whole different view and see where the victory is. It's your perspective. You force them to be with a downgrade supply. You force them to cycle through nothing but downgrades from what you were. Not to suggest anything about who they are and who they're dating, or that you're better than them. But the bottom line is, whatever the narcissist went through in life traumatically, chances are you went through the same trauma, if not worse. You came out of the same type of family, you had the same type of injury. They decided to be the weak one, although the world says that you're the weak one, and it's not true. They go down the path of manipulating and destroying everything out from others. And the world will say that they're the intelligent one. They're genius. And you're naive and you don't know what you're doing. Not true. You're the gifted one. You're the one that chose God over the enemy. You're the one that walks intact with your fruits of the Spirit, with your innate soul and your spirit and your inner voice. And they're all legit. They haven't been corrupted. And that's why you have a different energy. And that's why you have the ability to be blessed. You didn't fall to this world system. But you're also not going to get credit for it. Just like when you had to go into covenant and you had to agree, and you had to come into contract and consent with the narcissist, you have to also consent to leave them, to have nothing to do with them. And it takes you fighting your flesh. But the narcissist cannot live without having complete power and control over everything in their life. That's why a lot of times the people that they choose and the places that they go and the people that are around them are always preemptively known to them that they will always have complete and utter control over these individuals, or else they won't walk into it. And when it came to you, you were a sleeping giant that woke up during the relationship with them, and you flipped them on their head, y'all. And they don't know how to survive and live, and they're wrecking everything in their life, and their vibration is off, and they have no confidence. And even when they get over this, they're not going to get over it. There's always one that they lose that they cannot get over. And that's you. So don't worry about them, and do not give them any validation. Don't give them a moment of your time. Heal, and do not give them anything, not a drop, y'all. They are insignificant. They're nothing to you. They're nothing to you. And don't feel bad saying that, because they chose to be nothing. Thank you for watching.